The campaign is important to me because my commitment to making sure that women and girls are taken care of, can be able to access services, and that their rights are met. So it's basically a human rights issue for me. That is why the campaign is important.
The campaign is important because we believe that it is possible to have children that are free of HIV infection if the necessary investments are made by our countries, by our governments and our development partners to ensure that children that are born by HIV positive mothers are born with a very, very minimal risk of transmission. And I think this campaign is at the core of promoting that, and that's why I would like to associate myself with this campaign.
The campaign is very, very important because, to be honest, it's only when I sat down in the meeting that I've realized that as media, we haven't really been focusing on children living with HIV/AIDS. We have always kind of taken it like it's there, but it's not of focus. And I believe that if we do bring it up and make sure that we make enough noise, not only for the government leaders to realize that they've got a responsibility to support this campaign, but also the public at large, that they do have a responsibility, once they're properly informed, to take part in ending this, in ending the disaster that's going on of children living with HIV/AIDS who have been ignored for a long time.
The campaign to end pediatrics HIV/AIDS is very important to me because we have so many children in Africa today who are dying from HIV. And the most tragic thing is that HIV infection is actually preventable in children. And right now we have evidence, new evidence that has come up to show that actually with full implementation of what this evidence is advising, we can actually reduce HIV infection to such low levels that with continued implementation, in the long term, we can actually eradicate pediatric HIV. And we've heard from so many speakers and at various fora of how everybody in society needs to take up responsibility and their obligation to be part of this campaign to end pediatric AIDS. And I, as a pediatrician and a mother too, am just taking up my responsibility to be part of this campaign to end pediatrics HIV and AIDS.
This campaign to end HIV/AIDS pediatrics is very important for me because I work for HIV for more than 20 years, and I realize during this time that you can reach good levels of control looking for adult people, but if you forget the children, which for a long time we talk about the windows of opportunity, now we have all the tools to cut the epidemic among this group. This is why if you are able to have children without HIV, is the chance to have a new generation without HIV. And it's one way to cut the epidemic in Africa.
I think it is important to focus on children. First of all, children, I am a pediatrician and I speak for children. I have a passion for children. They look at me not only to treat them, rather to also be fair and give them justice. I want to make sure that we are not unfair to children. Throughout this HIV pandemic, we have not done enough to try and eliminate or end mother-to-child transmission. And therefore, I think this is the time that we have to consider about our legacy in this world. You know, as a pediatrician, I just treat patients, and I've been treating them for the past 40 years almost, but it's like I've done nothing. I've not made any impact whatsoever because the children keep on coming, the children keep on dying. But I think this is the time that prevention is better than cure. And good news is that we know that mother-to-child transmission has been almost cleared in the industrialized countries. It is almost a history now. It's going to be a history very soon. So we can do it, and I think I want to be part of it. I want to be part of that good story, that at least I played a role in ending pediatric AIDS.
The campaign to end pediatric HIV is doable. It is something that Africa can do. It is something that Africa must do, because we need a generation free of HIV in Africa. And when we achieve this, and not if, because this is something we must achieve, we can begin to have the very first good news since the outbreak of this catastrophe of HIV epidemic on the continent.